thankfully I'm feeling much more energized. Yeah, thanks for all the comments, guys, also. It really actually did mean a lot. I know it was only a couple people, but the appreciation is there. And people being like, you know, you just need to sleep more, man. Take a break. I can't take a break. Not stop until we get to 10,000 subscribers. Been making a video every day for over 700 days. We ain't stopping. But yeah, people like it might be a diet. And I think it probably was, you know. I think it was genuinely just me eating too much rice yesterday. It just did me in. I don't normally eat rice anyway, but never that much rice. And I probably just had like a carb baby, and it just made me want to fall asleep. I don't know. Got 9 hours sleep. I think that probably helped. It genuinely, people don't think it means something. It really does mean something, and it just sets you in a positive mood when you're like, damn, that's genuinely just a nice thing that people wrote there on yesterday's video. So I appreciate it. That's why I do this. That's why I do this. So thank you. But to this video now. Extraction. So Extraction was a film that Netflix has put out. You know, I don't know where to stand on it. I think that there are aspects of it that were very good, but it was a pretty bang average action film. I think, you know, that's exactly what it was. That was it. In a nutshell, that is the whole film. I don't think there's anything particularly special storytelling wise, character wise. There's nothing here, acting-wise, that really stood out to me. There was one aspect of the film which did, and I suppose that's why it's getting the play it is getting, because this part of the film was specifically very good. But if you don't know the director of this film, it was Sam Hargrave. He's a stunt director, basically. He did a lot of work on the Avengers films. Joe and Anthony Russo produced this one, if you don't know, the guys who made Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. But yeah, it's a film. Chris Hemsworth is good in it. He is good. He's believable, and I like him a lot. I think people have this perception of him where it's like you can't really not see him in the film because he's just like such a big presence. But he brings that to his roles, and the intensity he does give in this role, I think, is standout-ish compared to a lot of the other stuff. I think that a lot of the other actors were very plain. There wasn't a lot given. The main henchman of one of the you know, drug lords basically in the film was pretty good. I think his name was Sarju in the film. He was pretty good, but other than him and Chris Hemsworth, everyone else was pretty forgettable. The main kid was not great, unfortunately. I didn't believe the kid in this at all throughout it. None of it. Probably the worst part of this film was the kid. I don't know what type of reception you know, that child actor's getting from it, and he's a kid. He's probably like 15, 16, 17, so like I have no problem with it, you know. He's learning. That's chill. It's subjective, but in my opinion, it sort of pulled me out of the film a lot of the time when he was on screen compared to most other characters and most other actors in this film. Apparently the budget was like 65 million, and considering the way they shot this, they did it pretty efficiently. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was filmed mostly in India, and that probably helped bring the budget down. I get why they chose Chris Hemsworth in this role. I mean, obviously the Russo brothers worked with Hemsworth a lot, but India loves Chris Hemsworth, alright? I mean, I love Chris Hemsworth, but like Indians in India, I'm pretty sure he's probably one of the favorite movie stars outside of India in India. It's probably the Thor thing. It probably is solely the Thor thing, because in Hinduism there's basically God of Thunder as well. So like, we have a sort of relationship with that, and I think we just have an affinity towards that character, and because of that, Hemsworth is just a megastar in India, and I think this has probably shown it. Because I remember when there were audience screenings for Ragnarok and stuff like that, and people would record their reactions, some of the loudest pops I've ever heard were from Thor Ragnarok, or when Thor came back in Wakanda. Crazy shit went down in Infinity War when I was watching these things, when a lot of these moments specific to Thor, when I see Indian audience reactions and hear them when they're in the theatre, it's just bonkers. And I think that they did a good job in casting him for this role, specifically considering the story is based where the story is, in India and Bangladesh. But I just feel that there's a lot more they could have done with this story, and it just was very plain. It's not like there was anything distinct. It was just very by the books and nothing out of the ordinary. But and this is a big but, huge but with a capital B, U, and T, alright? The action in this film was shockingly good. Like, it wasn't John Wick level good, but for what it was, it's one of the best action set-piece films I've seen this year. Some of the stuff they were doing, and the follow-through shots, and just the length of some of these stunt-driven scenes were phenomenal. And the lack of cuts in some of these shots were really, really incredible. There's a lot of time and effort that went into a lot of these shots to make these shots seem one shot, if they were one shot or not. Some of the stuff in here, it was Jason Bourne, John Wick-esque, but with a slight more brutal twist to it. Like, I feel there's an elegance to the way John Wick does stuff in his films. This was like a brutalized version of that in some ways. It was heavy. There's a lot of blood. If you're not into that, then this is not for you, alright? But it did draw you in a little bit. I think that's the part of the film which people are gripping onto and being like, I like this film because of that, and that's chill. Because Netflix have had a couple of good films over the last year. Six Underground I thought was fun and fine. I think it's better than this film. It's distinctly odd and a bit weird, and I think that's probably why I liked that film. But I think it was the most watched Netflix original film ever, even ahead of The Irishman, which I would rather watch this over The Irishman. I don't know what that says for this or The Irishman. I think all it says is The Irishman is just too long of a film. Yeah, it's just 3.5 hours. Just get out of here. I'm sorry. I like it. It was an enjoyable-ish film. There was a lot of character development in that film, but lads, 3.5 hours for a non-action-packed film does not slide in the world we live in today. I'm sorry. So I'd rather watch this. I think this had good aspects to it. Then there was that Anthony Mackie and Frank Grillo film. I can't remember the name of it because I watched it about 6 months ago, but that was quite good. I rather enjoyed that one. That was probably my favourite one of the lot. So yeah, I thought this was a fine film. There wasn't a lot that stood out to me, but something that was good and that really took centre stage throughout this entire film was the action, and that was done incredibly well. The ending was a bit weird. I don't know. I think maybe they took a bit of Marvel flair and was like, end credit scene maybe sequel, maybe prequel. I don't know, but not sure I loved the ending specifically. The actual before the actual end of the film, I was like, fine, all right, it's done. What happened happened. That's it. Move on with the story in some way. I don't want to be too bait about what might have occurred throughout the story, but at the end of it, it's just like, what's happening here, lads? What's happening? But overall, it was pretty by the by, in my opinion. No, I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't watch it again. I might watch Six Underground again. I did watch that Frank Grillo, Anthony Mackie film twice, but I don't think I'd watch this film again. Trust me, I'm not watching The Irishman again, unless it's select scenes from it, just for acting purposes. But not bad. I think if I was going to rate it, like a 5.5 out of 10. Like, it was fine. It was solid. I might suggest it to people who are specifically into action films, and I know that they want that type of film, or if they want a Chris Hemsworth film, or a film set in India, or a film in that diaspora, like that area, then maybe this is recommendable. But to the regular person, have a watch if you want, but I don't think it's going to change your life. Other than the stuntmen and the work that they did, as well as Chris Hemsworth and the director, clearly a lot of work went into that, and that stuff was great. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Chris Hemsworth will come after you, alright? He's Thor, alright? Thor and Dr. Jones, if you know, you know. Thor will come after you, alright? You don't want that. He has a belly now. He has Stormbreaker. Shit's going down, alright? I don't know what's actually going on with the Avengers, alright? I don't know what's happening with as Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know what's going on. But he'll come after you. You don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. Now, I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Even when I'm at my lowest. When I'm at my worst. When I have no energy. Like I did yesterday. Still make a video. Been making one for over 700 days. And we're not stopping. Not stopping until we get to 10,000 subscribers. So subscribe. That would be really, really great. I know. It seems like it's an endless path. It just keeps on going. It's like you're walking on the steps, and then there's just more steps as you go along. Yeah, that's sort of how it feels. It's a bit demoralizing sometimes, but you have to push through. All right, if there's one thing this film showed you, you have to push through. Determination is key. And we're not stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So I'll be back again tomorrow with some more quality shitty content because, you know, why not? Why not? And that's just what we do. So remember, guys, stay safe, stay inside, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay inside. But, you know, just to be clear here, you should probably subscribe, all right? Just get it done. Click the button, and then we can all move on with our day. That was a bit hard. See you tomorrow, because I will indeed be here. Hashtag never not here. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.